Students, today we'll start a chapter Chemistry in Everyday Life. In this chapter, we'll study about the substances that are very useful in our day-to-day life, just like medicines, or you can say just like cleansing agent and all these things. So first, I will start with drugs. That is the first topic of this chapter. Okay. The first thing is drugs. What is the meaning of drug? Just simply understand. It is any chemical substance that is used for number one, two, three things. Any chemical substance that is used for diagnosis, prevention, and number three is treatment of a particular disease. Listen students, all of you know about the disease, clear? So to diagnose a disease, we require some chemical substances for the test and all these things. To prevent the disease, we require some vaccines, all of you know. And for the treatment of disease, you know, some medicine just like paracetamol and all these things we are using. So drug is any chemical substance which is used for the diagnosis, prevention and treatment of a disease. But there is a term, medicines. Now students, the medicine is again the same thing. If I define the medicine, I say same. It is a chemical substance used for same prevention, treatment and diagnosis of a disease. But what is the difference between them? The difference is only if I will use a drug and this drug will have the positive effect. Listen, if this drug will have the positive effect over a particular disease, that is said to be the medicines. Remember this thing now? So drug may be the any chemical substance, but medicine is that chemical substance which has the positive effect. Clear? There should be no negative effect. Clear? So as far as definition is concerned, you can define both drug and medicine in the same way, that is, these are the chemical substances used for diagnosis, prevention and treatment of a disease. Three steps very important, three terms very important. Again I repeat, diagnosis, prevention and treatment. Now the next thing is chemotherapy. What do you mean by chemotherapy? All of you know that to cure a particular disease we use chemical substances. If any chemical substance is used for treatment of disease. What? Treatment of disease, that is said to be the chemotherapy. Here the word chemo means chemical substance. So before I came to the actual part, I'll again repeat that I have started from drugs. The drug is any chemical substance that will be used for diagnosis, prevention and treatment of disease. If the drug it will have positive effect, then this is said to be the medicine. Clear? According to definition, both are same, but little one difference. The medicine does not have any negative effect, while drug may have the negative effect. So chemotherapy is clear to all of you. Now the first article of this is beta, that is various classification of drugs or medicines. Now I will say about medicines only, because we have to study about those drugs which will have the positive effect. No need to study the drugs that will have the negative effect. So I will always say medicines. So various classification of medicines, and since being their use is same, they can be used for the same purpose, I can also use the term drugs. Clear? So we are having some four ways of classification, just understand. First, we will classify on the basis of pharmacological effect. This is the first way of classification. Second, we can classify on the basis of structure, third we can classify on the basis of biochemical process affected, on the basis of biochemical process interacted, you can word proper, and last we can classify fourth one on the basis of targets in bodies. So there are four ways of classification, just understand. We'll discuss one by one. First one is on the basis of pharmacological effect. The meaning of pharmacological effect is that what is the function of medicine and what the medicine does. For example, if I say analgesics, remember the term analgesics. So analgesics are the medicine which reduces the pain. So this is the function of this medicine, and this function is said to be its pharmacological effect. Second, if I say antipyretics, these are the medicine which reduces the body temperature. So first we can classify the medicine on the basis of their functions or on the basis of their effect on the bodies. So two drugs we have seen, or medicines, again same thing now, analgesics or antipyretics. So this is the first way of classification. Second is on the basis of structure. For example, on the basis of structure means many of the drugs, they will have the same chemical structure or little known derivatives. For example, if I will say about sulfonamides, or commonly these are said to be sulfa drugs. These medicines, they will have a common structure. Just see this benzene ring, on the left hand side NH2, on the right hand side S double bond O, NHR, you know R is alkyl group. This is sulfonamides. This compound is said to be sulfonamide. So the drugs which are having this structure, that is said to be sulfonamides or sulfa drugs. Means all sulfonamides and all sulfa drugs, they will have this basic structure. Am I clear to all of you? So this is the second way of classification on the basis of structures, that the drugs, they will have a common structure. All the sulfa drugs, they will have this chemical compound in them. Now come to the third one, on the basis of interaction with a particular biochemical process. Now listen. For example, you know allergy, that is one of the allergic response, I will say. It is one of the common response that we will observe in our life. Now why this happens? This happens whenever due to a reaction, that is I will say A plus B, giving you a product that is histamine. Remember this word, histamine. And this is a biochemical reaction. Means during a particular biochemical reaction, if histamine is formed, this histamine causes allergic response. Therefore, the medicine which are used to treat allergic responses are also said to be antihistamine. What I will say? Antihistamine. So I have classified the drug as antihistamine because this drug will interact with this particular biochemical process and stop the formation of the histamine. You can say stop this particular reaction. So third, we can classify that the drug interact with which particular biochemical process. For example, this antihistamine, they will stop the formation of histamine in human bodies. And if the histamine does not form, then obviously the allergic response will also be stopped. So this is the third way of classification. Fourth is, we can classify on the basis of targets in the body. What are the targets? Just see out. Suppose you have you have taken a drug or medicine. This medicine enters in the body, human body or whatever. Clear? Our body is made up of either proteins carbohydrates, lipids, fats and nucleic acid. Fats and so our body is made up of these main substances. For example, if I'll ask about the skin, this is what? This is nothing but a protein. Understand? These here, these are the proteins. Clear? So our body is made up of these 5 macromolecules, 1, 2, 3 or 5. So whatever medicine you will take that enter in the body, that will interact either with the protein or with the carbohydrate or with the lipid or with the fats or with the nucleic acid. So I can also classify the medicines that on the basis of which they attack or what are their targets. So the main targets of all the medicine or drugs in the human bodies are, or any living organisms, protein, carbohydrate, lipid, fat and nucleic acid. So these are the various ways of classification. Again I will repeat. First we can classify on the basis of pharmacological effect, means what is the function of a drug. Second, we can classify on the basis of structure. Just I have told you that sulfa drugs, they contain sulfonamide. Third, on the basis of biochemical process. For example, antihistamines, they will interact with a particular process in which histamine is formed. Clear? And last, on the basis of targets. What are targets? Targets are these macromolecules. Target are these macromolecules on which your drug directly attacks. Clear to all of you? And these are carbohydrate, protein, lipid, fat and nucleic acids. So this we have done regarding that in how many ways we can classify a drug. Now students, the next article is drug target interaction. The article is, just understand, drug target interaction. Now listen, so before I start this, I tell you one thing. Whenever you will take a drug, this drug enter inside the body, and in the body, this drug either interact with, that is what will I say, carbohydrates, proteins, fats, lipids, and the last one is nucleic acid. These are the main targets of your drug. But all these targets, they are present in the cells. So how these drug approach these targets, and you can say the whole effect of these drugs is on these main compounds. So we have to study how the drug interact with these. So I will divide this one, drug target interaction, in 2 parts. The first part I will study, that is drug enzyme interaction. Second, we will discuss drug receptor interaction. Receptor interaction. Now listen, what is the meaning of that now? Listen students, all of you know that in our body there are biochemical reactions, just like A plus B giving you C plus D. This may be any biochemical reaction. Any biochemical reaction. Clear to all of you? To increase the speed of reaction, we need a catalyst. But in our body, natural or biological catalysts are present. These are said to be the enzymes. So what are enzymes? Enzymes are biological catalyst. So first of all, your drug interact with the enzymes of a particular biochemical reaction. Point clear to all of you? Now first, before we go to the detail, I will tell you that what is the meaning of drug receptor interaction. Drug enzyme interaction is clear to all of you. The drug interact with the enzyme of a particular biochemical reaction that occurs in our body. And what are enzymes? These are biological catalysts present in the bodies. Second, what is the meaning of receptor? Just see out student. This is a part of a cell membrane. This is a part of, I draw, it will take some time, but doesn't matter. This is your, you can say, and this part is said to be the inside of cell. And here in the membrane there are some chemicals or there are some substances, not a particular chemical. These are said to be the receptors. So what are receptor? These are the some biological terms, or you can say a substance that is present in the cell membrane, whose one part is outside the cell, other part is inside the cell. What is the function of this? Its function is simple, just to get the information from the cell and transfer the information inside the cell. Clear to all of you? These informations may be, I write here, of two main types. Number one, these may be the hormones. All of you know, just like growth hormones. These hormones are secreted by ductless glands. So suppose a chemical hormone comes, and this hormone will have the function of regarding the growth of the cell or particular body, and this information go inside the cell with the help of receptors. Clear to all of you? Second type of information, that is neurotransmitter. Information or neurotransmitter. Information, or you can say also they may be the messages, same word. So what are neurotransmitter? Listen student. This is our brain. From brain, the information, or you can say the message, comes through nerve cell. Which cell? Nerve cell. And through nerve cell, the neurotransmitter, these supply the information to the receptor, and that information comes inside the cell. Suppose our brain will give us the information to develop a hunger. So this message comes from the brain via nerve cell, and nerve cell via transmitter send this message to the receptor, and this receptor send this message to the cell, and that you can say hunger is developed in our body. Am I clear to all of you? So two type of, you can say, messages or information enter in the cell. Number one, the message is sent by the hormones. These are the chemicals which are secreted by ductless gland, just like growth hormone. Second type of messages are neurotransmitter. These messengers are directly from the brain. They transfer via nerve cell, and neurotransmitter is the chemical substance which transfer this information to the receptor, and via receptor to the cell. Cell will get the particular information what he has to do. So two type of information is there. So now the drug target on these receptors. Clear? Second, the drug target on these receptor in the way whether the information going to the cell will be stopped or whether the information will be increased if not coming. Two things. Whether the information going to the cell will be stopped, and if the information is lacking, message is lacking, then how the new message will go to the cell. So in this type of drug receptor interaction, the drug interact with these receptor molecules which transfer the messages from outside the cell to the inside of the cell. So just before I go to the detail, just understand once more what is the meaning of drug enzyme interaction and drug receptor interaction. Our biological reactions in our body, these are catalyzed by enzymes. So drug will interact with these enzymes. Clear to all of you? Second, the information inside the cells, these are transferred by receptors. And secondly, the drug interact with these receptors. Clear? So that the information may be supplied or stopped, that depend on the drug. Similarly, the drug will affect the enzyme or not, that again depend on the drug, what is its function and all these things. So basically I will say that the drug will interact either with the enzyme of a biochemical process or with the receptor of a cell. Two things. Clear to all of you? Okay, now I'll start the first one, that is drug enzyme interaction. Drug enzyme interaction. Now first see how the enzyme works. This will have the two parts. That is, first I will say how the enzyme works. So just see out. In the biochemical reaction, the reactants Listen student, the reactants, these are said to be the substrates. What will I say? Substrate. These substrate combine with enzyme and form enzyme substrate complex. What they form? Enzyme substrate complex. This enzyme substrate complex then convert into product enzyme complex, and ultimately the products and enzymes, they are separate. So just see what is the process of biochemical reaction. The substrate combined with the enzyme forming enzyme substrate complex. This enzyme substrate complex convert into product enzyme complex. Clear to all of you? Because enzyme is just a catalyst. Its function is to increase the speed, not to take part in the reaction. And finally I will get this. This is the function of enzyme. Now how the enzyme works, just see out. This is beta the structure of a particular enzyme. This I can say enzyme. Enzyme is basically proteinaceous in nature. Enzymes are made up of proteins, and proteins are made up of amino acid. Remember these terms. Proteins are made up of amino acids, the compound which contain amino group as well as acidic group. Clear? This side NH2 group, this is said to be the amino acid residue. Clear? Whereas this side is said to be the carboxylic acid residue. So your enzyme is completely, you can say, made up of these compounds which contain COOH group and NH2 group. So these enzymes, they will have some specific site that is said to be the active site. Remember, what is active site? Clear? This active site will have this amino acid residue. Which part? Amino acid residue. I will simply write here. Which part? Amino acid residue is written as AAR. So on active site which is present? Amino acid residue. Am I clear to all of you? Now, this is the substrate. This substrate binds to the active site. Binds to the active sites, forming, this is substrate, enzyme substrate complex. How can I show the complex? To show it I have to just remove all this diagram. So just see how I show the enzyme substrate complex. When this combine, this I write active site, and active site has which residue beta? Amino residue, amino acid residue. Now, so when this combine, it will form, this is substrate, this is said to be enzyme substrate complex, during which there is a force of attraction, or you can say interaction, between enzyme and substrate. Understand? So here there are interaction between which? Enzyme and substrate. So what are these type of interactions? These we have to study. So these type of interactions are this one that we have done in our normal chemistry. These may be dipole-dipole interaction. These may be the ionic interactions. These may be the ion dipole interactions. And you can say these may be the van der Waals forces. So what is the meaning of this? I'll again start with the start. Your substrate comes to the active site, clear, and interact with the active site, or you can say there is a force of attraction that may be out of these possibilities, due to which enzyme substrate complex is formed. So the first function of enzyme is to develop the force of attraction between the substrate and enzyme, or to provide the active site. This special site is said to be the active site. Understand now? Now the next step. Now, next what happens? This enzyme, again the second function of this enzyme will provide functional group. What it provide? Functional group. So that there is a reaction between substrate and functional group. I'll write just here this one. I think we'll remove this one, no need of this. I'll write here. What is the function of enzyme? This enzyme provides what? Functional group. Here, so that there is a reaction between what? Functional group plus with substrate. Now during the reaction, it will convert into product enzyme complex, and from this the product and enzymes are separated. So just I'll simply tell you what is the meaning of this that I have discussed. Your substrate combined with the enzyme on its active site. Clear? During this combination, the active site must have which residue? Amino acid residue, NH2 part. You can write the substrate combined with which part? NH2 or amino acid residue part of enzyme. Now, when this interact, these forces may develop. Clear? This is the first function of the enzyme, to provide surface for the attachment of substrate. Secondly, this enzyme will provide the functional group. These functional group, they will interact with the substrate or undergo reaction with the substrate, forming product enzyme complex. Finally, the enzyme gets separated, product gets separated. So the two main function of the enzyme comes. First, it gives the active site for the attachment of substrate. Second, it provides the functional group for the particular biochemical reaction. Due to these two functions, it increases the speed of reaction. Now we have to study what is the effect of medicine on this. So our medicine will interact with enzymes in two ways. Drug enzyme interaction means there is which type of interaction between the drug and enzyme. Normally we are having two type of interaction. First is competitive inhibition and second is non-competitive inhibition, or also said to be allosteric inhibition. Now listen, both these they will relate to the enzyme activity. So just see what happens carefully. This is your enzyme. This is the active site of the enzyme. Now listen. This is substrate and this is drug or medicine that we have taken. Now what happens? If I have taken a drug or I have taken a medicine, this drug fight with the substrate. Clear? Fight with the substrate and ultimately get attached on the active site and forms this drug enzyme. What forms? Drug enzyme complex. Clear? Now what happens? You know that there is a particular reaction. Enzyme provide what? Functional group. Clear? These functional group they will react with the substrate and a particular biochemical reaction goes on. Now the enzyme will have the functional group, but this drug does not react with these functional groups. So the biological activity stops. Clear? And a particular biochemical reaction stops. This will happen, remember, in case of allergic response, I have told you how the allergic responses are developed in the body. In allergic responses, what happens? A particular substrate plus enzyme, they will form a compound histamine. What they form? Histamine. This compound develop allergy in our body. Clear? So if I take the medicine, then that particular medicine or drug, what works? That in place of this substrate, what comes? Drug. It will combine with the enzyme. Clear? And automatically stop the functioning of enzyme, due to which the product of histamine get stopped. Clear? And a particular disease is cured. So what is competitive inhibition? Clear? I'll write one line definition of this. Competitive inhibition, in which the drug competes with natural substrate. Drug competes with natural substrate, attach on active site and inhibit the biological process. Understand now? So since there is a competition between the substrate and the drug, this is said to be the competitive inhibition. Now, second comes out to be non-competitive inhibition or allosteric inhibition. Sometimes beta, in this case, the drug win the competition with the substrate. But in any case, the drug will not win the competition. Then the drug will act in another way. What the another way? Just see out. This is your enzyme. This is active site. This is active site, and this is allosteric site. And this is your what? Drug or medicine. Now listen. This process happens when the drug fails to fight with, or you can say fails in a competition with the substrate. Means this drug cannot directly compete with the substrate. So what he does, this drug will attach on another site, that is allosteric site. The enzyme has two sites. Number one active site, another one is allosteric site. So this drug attached to allosteric site. When this drug attached on the allosteric site, what happens? This is attached. This drug is attached. And we know that drug is a chemical substance. So when this drug attaches on these chemical sites, there occurs some chemical reaction, due to what? The shape of active site is changed. What? Active site shape is changed. This will be like that. Now just see, will the substrate attach on this active site? No. Because to attach the substrate on the active site, its shape must be perfect according to the active site. Initially, its shape is perfect. But when we take the drug, this drug will attach on the allosteric site. This changes the shape of active site, due to which the substrate does not attach to the active site. If the substrate will not attach, then obviously the reaction is stopped. So how can I define this one now? I can define here, in case of non-competitive inhibition, what is the definition? The drug attached to the allosteric site, due to which what happens? The shape of active site is changed and substrate does not combine. Clear? Substrate does not combine, due to which the biological process gets stopped. So what is the difference between these two? First, what happened? The drug compete with the natural receptor. Clear? In this non-competitive, there is no competition of the drug with the substrate. Second, the drug compete with the natural substrate and attach on the active site, whereas this, the drug attach on the allosteric site. When this, in case of competitive, the drug attach on the active site, clear, there is no interaction between the drug and the enzyme and biochemical process is inhibited. Similarly here, what happens, due to a little one difference, this this enzyme attached on allosteric site changes the shape of active site, due to which the substrate does not combine and the biological process automatically stop. So this is said to be the drug enzyme interaction, how the drug inhibit a particular process, in two ways, either with the compete with the substrate, or if it will not be able to complete, then it will use some another way by attach itself to the allosteric site, due to which the shape of active site gets changed. This is said to be the non-competitive inhibition. So clear to all of you? Now the second is beta drug receptor interaction. Just see out carefully. The second one is drug receptor interaction. This is again of two types. Number one, agonists. Second, antagonist. Now listen, what is the meaning of this? Suppose beta, this is a cell membrane. This is, you can say, cell membrane. This is a cell. You can say bulk of cell or inside cell. This is receptor. We have discussed in the starting. These are receptors. And this is a particular natural message. Now, if the body functions normally, then this message will attach to the receptor and this message will come inside the cell and our body works properly. Clear? Sometimes what happens? Sometimes the hunger in our body is reduced. Then I'll go to the doctor. Doctor will say, you just eat liver 52 syrup. What is the meaning of this? When the hunger reduces in our body, what happens? The message, natural message for the hunger does not come to the receptor and our cell does not get the information to develop a hunger. What happens? The message for the hunger or message for a biological activity does not appear. So that particular message is not received by the cell and cell will not perform. Clear? Now what happens? I will take a drug. This is your drug. Now this drug attached to the receptor. Why it attached to the receptor? First I will tell you. Because this drug actually mimic the natural substrate. Mimic the natural messenger. Mimic means it changes its shape just like the natural message. Clear? Just like the natural message. Same will be the shape, due to which it can bind and that message is transformed to the cell. This is said to be the agonist behavior. What is the meaning of agonist? Just listen. Agonist behavior is this, in which the drug mimic the natural message if it is not coming. I have told you the example. Whenever the hunger is reduced, it means the message regarding the hunger is lost. So that particular drug or that particular medicine will develop a message for the hunger, and that message is just like the natural message, its shape and all these things. Now therefore I have used the term drug mimic the natural message if it is not coming in the cell. This type of behavior is said to be the agonist behavior. One line you have to learn. What is the line? The drug mimic the natural message or messenger, both are the same things. Clear? Because the message obviously comes with the help of a messenger. Now second way is antagonist way. Just see out again. I'll explain this one. This is again the cell membrane. This is inside the cell. This I have drawn a receptor. Clear? This is natural message or messenger, and this is your drug. Now this drug binds to the receptor. What happens? This is the drug, this is R for receptor. The drug binds to the receptor. If the drug binds to the receptor, clear all of you, then will this message enter in the cell? No. Means the cell will not get any message from the natural message, and obviously the message will be stopped. This will happen in case of antihistamines. What will I get? You know, I discussed in energetic responses what happened. A particular message for the reaction goes on. So what will I take? If I take a drug, then the drug attach itself to the receptor, clear to all of you, due to which this drug will not have any message for the cell. Its simple way is to block the site. What is its function or way? Its way is to block the site, due to which this natural messenger does not come. So what is the meaning of antagonist? In the antagonist, the drug binds to the receptor and block the site of receptor and inhibit biological process. So in the short, what you have to write? No need to write in the big. Just simply, what is the meaning of agonist? In this, the drug mimic the natural message if it is not coming. Here, the drug bind to the receptor and block the site of the receptor. Similarly, two things clear? Agonist, antagonist. Agonist happen when natural message is not coming. Antagonist happen when we have to stop the natural message. When we have to stop the natural message. So this all we have done, that is the drug target interaction, how the drug interact with the targets. Am I clear to all of you? This we have divided into two types. Number one, we have done drug enzyme interaction. That was of two types. Remember, competitive inhibition and non-competitive inhibition. And second is drug receptor interaction. This is of two types, agonist and antagonist. So this we have finished the first part of the chapter, chemistry in everyday life. That is, we have done the various ways of classification of dust, and the main topic is drug target interaction. That's all.